We are now just 2 weeks away from the Xbox and Bethesda game showcase, and the leaks have been seriously ramping up as we get closer to this event. Immediately after I posted my initial video covering some of these leaks, we got a bunch more, and in many ways, the second batch is even more telling than the first. But the first thing I think we need to talk about is this Fallout 3 remaster. Coming off the insane hype for the Fallout TV show, we've been seeing a ton of speculation that a Fallout 3 remaster could end up at this year's summer showcase. And here, I want to dive into whether or not that's actually going to happen. A lot of this recent speculation is fueled by a recent leak from Jez Corden. He mentions hearing that Microsoft wants the next Fallout game out faster. This due to the massive success of the Fallout TV show and a huge influx of players into Fallout games, and from what I heard, Bethesda was not expecting this large of a bump. So upon hearing that Xbox wants the next Fallout game here sooner, many people immediately jumped to this Bethesda roadmap that leaked last year. This was made in 2020, but leaked as a part of the FTC trial, and it lists a Fallout 3 remaster as a fiscal year 2024 release. So right off the bat, as you're probably connecting these dots, you can start to see how people are getting very hyped. The remaster was scheduled for this year anyway, and now all of a sudden we see Microsoft trying to get a Fallout game out sooner. Surely the remaster is going to be here at the showcase, right? Well, maybe not. Well, this leaked roadmap has been incredibly accurate. Even in just the last few weeks, we've learned almost everything that was pitched or in development at some point is accurately reflected on this roadmap, with the one major inaccuracy being the timing. Many things on this were delayed. The Elder Scrolls 6 is listed right next to that Fallout 3 remaster, and I don't think the Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out this year. So it doesn't really seem likely that the Fallout 3 remaster is a 2024 release either. And one of the other notable parts around a Fallout 3 remaster is we haven't seen many leaks as of late. We did get this one 4chan leak that did mention a Fallout 3 remake being shown at this year's show and releasing in October of 2024, but beyond that, nothing actually credible from insiders or otherwise has leaked around this, which is curious. On the other side, we have this Oblivion remaster, which has had several other leaks. It of course is on the roadmap, but it also got a very notable Reddit post, and even the reputable insider Nate Drake said he heard of an Oblivion remaster being shopped around, but when asked about a Fallout 3 remaster last summer, he hadn't heard anything on that subject. But on the flip side, something definitely is going on. During a recent interview, Todd Howard may have just confirmed that 2 new Fallout projects are in production, and one of these certainly could be a Fallout 3 remaster. But even on top of that, we do still have this bizarre Fallout TV show reference that I feel a lot of people forgot about. During the Fallout TV show, Cooper Howard is advertising Vault ownership, and a number appears on screen so you can reserve one for yourself. If you call this number, you'll hear screaming. But if you text the number, it'll mention how the next available appointment is in 33 weeks, and how you can sign up for more communication going forward. 33 weeks from the release date of the Fallout TV show is Wednesday, November 27th, which is a really solid release date for a video game, although we have no idea if this actually is a video game. And frankly, I have no idea what this could be, but it's gotta be something, right? As you text this number, you can agree to get further communications in the future, so it seems like they were setting up something here that would continue. But since the release of the show, nothing's actually come from this. Starfield's DLC is rumored to be dropping in September, so that seems to be largely ruled out, if not the obvious option. Alternatively, this could be teasing a winter update for Fallout 76, or maybe it really is just a tease for a Fallout 3 remaster. Over the past few years, Bethesda has really locked down as far as leaks go, and we don't really get all that much anymore, particularly when it comes to Bethesda game studios. So now on one hand, I kind of doubt this is the release date for a Fallout 3 remaster, but at the same time, it's gotta be something, and I really haven't seen this talked about all that much. So I wouldn't be shocked if at the summer showcase, something gets revealed for a November 27th release date, and I have to imagine it's something Fallout related. And now, as we're just 2 weeks away, I really do have this feeling that we see something Fallout get announced at the showcase, simply due to just how big this IP has gotten as of late. Even if we just got a logo reveal for a future game, I think that would get a ton of fans very excited. But on the flip side, the new Doom game has gotten a ton of leaks over the past couple of days. Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming reports that the new Doom game will be revealed at the Xbox showcase, and it'll be titled Doom: The Dark Ages, which will be a medieval-inspired Doom world. From that leaked Bethesda roadmap, we saw this game was codenamed Doom 0 Year, and it seems like they meant that in a literal sense, a Doom game set in the year 0. To me, this sounds incredible. Lots of the older Doom-like games, or even some mods for older Doom games, actually did utilize a medieval setting. Although, I don't think Doom: The Dark Ages will be full-on medieval like some people are expecting. I don't think it's just going to be sword fights and knights. They'll likely be guns or something like that. Doom is an otherworld game, and as such, medieval times and the Dark Ages there will likely look a bit different than they do in our timeline. Although with all of this news coming out, a quote from years past has resurfaced as a pretty interesting one. As during a stream few years ago, creative director Hugo Martin described the next Doom game almost like a monster truck, while the previous one with Eternal was more of a race car. So to me, it sounds like this medieval Doom is being described as a slower but perhaps more brutal game compared to some of the previous entries, which were a lot more fast-paced with constant action happening around you. And just personally for me, this all sounds amazing. I'm definitely not the biggest Doom fan in the world, but these leaks have gotten me way more interested in this game's reveal and whatever it'll entail. And yet, funny enough, that isn't even the biggest leak around the new Doom game, as it has also been reported by both Nate Drake and confirmed by Jez Corden that Doom: The Dark Ages will be announced as a multi-platform release. So we'll get the new Doom game reveal, but then seemingly it'll also be listed as coming to PS5 in addition to both Xbox and PC, which for many Xbox fans is a very big deal. We of course saw massive controversy around this earlier this year when Xbox Era leaked that Starfield was coming to PS5, and we even saw several other insiders back up this idea. So of course, Xbox later came out and clarified that this was not happening, and instead 4 other games would be going multi-platform but not Starfield. But my speculation at the time, which I still believe, was Xbox changed their plans. Starfield was supposed to come to PS5, but then they saw the gigantic backlash that was happening and changed their tune, not wanting to anger the audience that much. But some even more recent reports from Jez Corden describe that Xbox wants no limits with the games that could go multi-platform, and this does seem to indicate a major shift in their business strategy. So instead of the core goal really being Game Pass sales and getting as many people onto the Xbox platform as possible, for some of these games, they're going to be focusing on getting as many players as possible, with Game Pass simply being one of the cheapest ways to actually jump into them. And there have been even further rumors and speculation that are kind of at a high level that the next Xbox could be very different with a much larger focus on Windows. So for a lot of you, you might not personally care all that much about exclusivity or really a lack thereof with future titles. And yeah, I'm definitely in that camp. I'm a PC gamer and I have been for decades. This kind of stuff doesn't really affect me all that much. But at the same time, for many who felt like they were investing into Xbox as a platform, this shift and a major new release with Doom coming to other platforms really removes a lot of the justification for investing into Xbox, and we definitely could start to see a lot of people switch over to PS5, or likely more so whatever the next generation console ends up being. And a very likely future is, regardless of what Xbox announces at their showcase, this will end up dominating the discussion around the showcase because it is such a big strategy shift. We've separately heard from several insiders that this year's showcase was shaping up to just be insane, so it'll be interesting to see what ends up getting more discussion, the games or some of the details around the games. But to me, what was easily one of the biggest leaks to come out recently was also from Tom Henderson of Insider Gaming, as they report both Avowed and Indiana Jones will have hands-on previews that will be dropping after the Xbox showcase. Reportedly at Summer Game Fest 2024, the 2 games will be playable by media and content creators. I am attending this event, so if the opportunity arises, I will definitely try to play these games and get subscribed for any content that could come around that. But to me, these 2 games getting hands-on is a really big deal for 2 reasons. On one hand, it almost certainly confirms that both of these games are going to be coming out this year. Tom Warren has claimed Avowed will be dropping in November with Indiana Jones in December, and with us getting a hands-on so far in advance over the summer, it definitely seems like, yeah, that'll confirm those release dates. But more importantly, we'll find out if the games are actually good. Media and content creators getting to go hands-on this far in advance is a pretty big deal, as those impressions will be far more informative than a highly edited CGI or gameplay trailer. I feel like with both Indiana Jones and Avowed, they're kind of unknowns right now. Indiana Jones is being executive produced by Todd Howard, and the initial gameplay really looked exciting, but it is one of those games that's kind of hard to lock down. It's an interesting genre mashup, but in just a few weeks, we're going to be hearing from people who actually got to play this. So we'll find out if that mashup works or not. And Avowed even more so. This initial teaser won over fans instantly, but the follow-up gameplay for Avowed really killed a lot of the steam that was going for this game, as many fans found themselves being way less hyped once this trailer dropped. I think the developer direct earlier this year and some of the gameplay around that did win back quite a few, but in my eyes, a hands-on impressions, actually having somebody go through and experience some of that Obsidian questing, will be the most telling around what Avowed will actually end up being. Because Avowed may even still be getting upgrades. Jez Corden just recently reported that Avowed has moved to Unreal Engine 5.3. The gameplay we saw in January at the developer direct looked really good, but maybe we're even going to see a further upgrade at the summer showcase. So with a new gameplay trailer and hands-on impressions, assuming these actually do come out, I really think Avowed could be set up to end up winning a lot of fans back. But we also have heard how the Xbox Showcase will be featuring several non-Xbox games. On the latest episode of the Xbox 2 podcast, Jez Corden described how Xbox had secured marketing deals for the new Assassin's Creed game with Shadows. There'll be something from the new Star Wars Outlaws game, but also some other major third-party release that'll bring solace to a wary fan base. Honestly, I had no idea what this could be, but after just simply Googling around to see which fan bases thought that this would apply to them, it turns out the Dragon Age fan base thinks that this could be around a new Dragon Age game, with many pointing towards Solace being close to Solas, a character from Dragon Age Inquisition. I'm not personally convinced, but at the very least, there are some other exciting announcements on the way. Overall, I think it'll be a very interesting showcase this year. We've seen several insiders mention how this one should be awesome. Both rumors of multi-platform games and Game Pass price increases. I think many of us are wondering if the details will overshadow some of the reveals. With that in mind, get subscribed to keep up to date on whatever is announced at this one, and check out this video to see the rest of these recent showcase leaks.